Hello, everyone. Hello. And thank you for being here as we gather to mourn and to demand justice for Ashley Moore, a transgender sister. We want to start off with making sure that we set the atmosphere right? So let's set the atmosphere right for our homegirl, Ashley Moore. So I would like all Black trans women to the front, please, without blocking the recorders. That's right, just gather up the front. Just gather up the front. Gather up around and hold some space. And that's how it always should be when we at a rally for Trans Lives Matter. All women to the front and our allies surrounding us. If police comes, we sit. You stand up around us. Protect us. I want to allow Kevin from Unity Fellowship, Newark, to provide us with the opening remarks. So please give a round of applause for Kevin.
Generally pretty loud, so I have to be mindful. Yeah. So before and thank you for that, Queen, because what I want to offer is in fact opening remarks. Sometimes the preachers and the pastors among us get indemnified from taking a stand because we simply get called to pray. But in this occasion, I want to speak if I could, because I'll be 56 next Friday. And so I no longer get to call you all my sisters. You're my daughters. And I own that because I don't know about the rest of y'all, but from the place of parenthood, I come to the situation with a different mentality, right? I might fight you for my sister. I'm gonna hurt you for my daughter. I might admonish you for my sister. I'm knocking you the hell out for my daughter. I might sign a petition for my sister. I'm getting somebody kicked out of office for my daughter. So I come here to hold us, as we hold space, to hold each of us accountable, because we of a certain age are the ones who marched and protested and fought and told our sons and daughters at some point it was going to get better. And if we are in fact the example of better, then we need to be the ones who are personing this LGBT line when it opens, so that they hear voices from people who care about them, not just people who were signed to them. I see signs that say, stop killing Black trans women. I also want to say to my own community, let's stop letting trans women die. Not on my watch. It's enough of not being part of the places where our kids hang out, the places where they seek refuge, the places where they find shelter. We should be there so when they get there, they don't just find people who've taken classes about sensitivity to work with them, but people who used to be them before we grew up and prospered. Ashley Moore looks like she could be my granddaughter. And so I want us to stand and mindful that we've got a work to do inside the house. We've got to remember to hold space for our sisters, our nieces, our daughters. And we have names that we call out, but I still wonder about the trans woman who got into the fight at the corner of Broad and William and disappeared. I still wonder about the trans woman I see when I'm driving down Halsey and wonder where she's sleeping tonight, and I circle back, and when I get back, she's gone. I still wonder. And I want us to spend sleepless nights wondering where our sons and daughters, brothers and sisters are, because that is the work. The rainbow's cute. I have everything you can imagine, because my sisters have everything you can imagine with a rainbow on it. But this black man standing up for black trans women scares the hell out of somebody, and I'm glad about that. Trans lives matter. All trans lives matter. All black lives matter. And if we don't realize that we don't show up until moments like this, then we haven't had the conversations that we need to be having about respectability politics in the LGBTQ community. Either we're going to show up when any of the letters gets attacked, or we can stay at home. So that means L, you got to work out this stuff with the G. G, you got to clear up some stuff with the B. LG, y'all got to have a meeting with the T. T, you got to have a meeting with the Q. Until we are one, we are none. So I opened this space for us to see each other differently. That's why these masks are on our mouths. So we are now forced to look each other in the eye when we're talking. I love you. I lift you. And most of all, family, I got you. I promise you, if you need it, when you call that line, somebody who knows all about what you are going through, because we went through, will be on the other side. God bless you.
No offense, you know. That was some beautiful, wonderful words. And I would like to just piggyback a little bit on that, what you said. Okay. Look.
I got you.
Because Newark, New Jersey, we gotta do better. We gotta do better. This street right here should be full and flooded of supporters for Ashley Moore. We come out here when any cisgender female or any cisgender male gets murdered, killed, harassed, humiliated. We're out here with you. We've marched with the Black Panthers. We've marched with Martin Luther King. We've marched when Rodney King got humiliated. We've been there. We started Stonewall. We was in the Bible. We was in the Biblia. As Queen Esther. Okay, so we gotta do better as a community and come together for our Black, queer, brown, and Black sisters and brothers and protect one another. Because until we start treating each other better and with respect, they won't. They won't. Next, we're gonna hear a video from Ashley Moore's mother, who couldn't be here, but is here today with us in spirit.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you so much for coming. My name is Starlet Carbins, and I am the mother of Ashley Moore. My daughter was many things, but mostly known for her artistry, her love of people and community. It was very, very important that once Ashley claimed you as hers, that was it. You were a part of her heart. Myself and my family would like to express how truly heartbroken we are that we no longer have Ashley, that we no longer have our daughter. We are so angry at the mishandling of her case by so many authorities, so many. And we had gotten to the point to where we were so tired of fighting, and it didn't feel like we were being heard. But I want to encourage you all, as I've been encouraged, to not cease in seeking out truth, not just for Ashley, but for yourselves. This is not just for Ashley, but for all the other trans women and all the other families. We want to prevent this from happening to them. Ashley was extremely loved. Deeply, truly, madly, deeply loved. Not just by myself, but biological family, as well as those of you who adopted her into your family. There's too many trans women, specifically of color, that just die and vanish because they either have no contacts or any family or all of the above, and they're not being counted. And that's not okay. Now, Ashley was fortunate, and I'll tell you why. Ashley has a biological family who loves her, loves, present tense. And she's got you guys, her chosen family. You, who loves her. And so now tonight, we are standing together in solidarity for Ashley and so many other transgender siblings and family members to demand justice. My question is, when will people start to care for our daughters? All of our daughters. When will they count? When will she matter? When will they matter? All Black trans lives matter. So I thank you, and I continue to ask that you continue to fight for our daughter. Community matters. People matter. You matter. So please support Ashley by supporting her GoFundMe account. And that can be found at justiceforashleymoore.org. Again, that's justiceforashleymoore.org.
That was beautiful. Say her name. Ashley Moore. 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 That speech touched me. It angers me at the same time. I'm 38 and the life expectancy for the transgender woman in my community is 35. Most of these girls aren't gonna make it to 35. It scares me to think that my mom and dad will one day be in a video like that for me. And that ain't right. Because what they did was profile us, right? They thought that because she was a Black transgender female that she didn't have a family who loved her. They believed that she didn't have anyone that was gonna come out to search for the truth, to see why Ashley Moore is no longer with us. Why? So next we're gonna have some words from our loving friends. So please give a nice, warm shout outs to Maya Williams. think I got corona. You know, I got my test today.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Can we make some noise? Can we make some noise? Can we make some noise for my sister, Ashley Moore? Can we make some noise? Now, see, that's what we need to hear when one of our sisters have fallen by the wayside. So my name is Maya Williams. I am an empowerment coordinator for Project WOW. For those of you who do not know what Project WOW is a youth LGBT center safe space for those who are looking for services within the community. I stand before you not as an empowerment counselor, but as Maya, the Black trans woman. Some people don't believe I'm trans, and if you did not, then I say thank you. But one thing I am going to say is that we need to make noise. If you don't take anything else, and I'm not a preacher or anything like that, but I grew up in church, and if I had a topic today, I would say we need to make noise. Now, 1 Corinthians 13:13 says, and now abideth faith, hope, and love. These three, but the greatest of these is love. So I asked Newark, where is the love? Where is the love for our Black trans sisters? Where is the love for Ashley Moore? Where is the love? Where is the justice for all of our trans sisters in which we have lost over the course of 2 years, in which they still have not sought justice for these young women? She was found right here in this very spot, murdered, and yet and still there are no answers to the questions. Where is the love? When do we begin to love? When do we begin to ask ourselves, are we loving hard enough? When do we begin to ask ourselves, do we love our sisters enough? Do I love you enough? Yes, I do. I stand before you proud, a proud Black African-American trans woman of color who has life, and I am breathing. As you can see, you see this t-shirt here? Can I see that right there? Do you see those two colors? That is a symbol for progress, meaning that we are progressing, meaning that this is not a stop, but this is only but progression to go up and up from here. So I need for everyone to say, where is the love? Where is the love? Where is the love? Where is the love?
The weather's coming, so we're trying to rush out. We don't want y'all coming home looking like wet chickens, you know. So, okay, you're here, right? Okay, look, we all know the coins, right? So, are all the speakers here? All the speakers are here? We don't know. Okay, so, is Nyla Love here? No? Okay, next. Jadea Rogers? Jadea Rogers? No? Okay. Maya Williams just spoke, right? Tyra Gardner? Give it up for Tyra Gardner.
Just bust a little hand sanitizer. Wow.
Okay, that's it.
Okay. Make sure y'all hear me.
Okay.
Y'all know I'm loud.
We ain't playing.
Oh, yeah, I got a little speech.
Okay, go ahead.
You know, normally I don't even do a little speech, but I got a little something to say. Hello, everybody. Good evening. My name is Tyra Gardner, and I am the Positive Youth Action Empowerment Coordinator and Supervisor at the Pride Center, located here in the heart of Newark, New Jersey. It is good to see all of you guys and everyone here gather here in this space in support of Ashley Moore. For many of us, there are awkward sense of personal vulnerability that distance terror we're read about online is a terror we experience in our daily lives. Something life transforming has happened to us. Ordinary words failed us. Yet it's possible to remain you. So I offer, it's impossible to remain mute. So I offer these thoughts of empowerment as we assemble together. For those of you who don't know, Ashley Moore was found dead right in front of the YMCA. Right over here. Just right over here. Just look over. Right over there. Ashley Moore was found dead in a high traffic area on a busy street of New Jersey. Right here. As y'all see, the street is busy, right? I cannot help but to ask, how long has Ashley Moore been there? Who called the police? Where were the videos from the building in the streets? Why aren't these questions being answered? Why? This could have been any of us. Any of us could have been Ashley Moore. I worked several blocks down the street. Literally several blocks down the street from the YMCA. I am a trans woman. I could be Ashley Moore. To the police department. I need to take this mask down. To the police department. Police department. To my knowledge, there has been 28 trans people killed this year in the United States. And there has been no justice for them. Our police department must understand that trans lives matter, damn it. We matter. We are tired of all, can I be real? We are tired of all of the bullshit. And we here to misgender. All we hear is misgendering. I'm sorry, y'all, the weather is coming and my paper's flying. But it's sad to hear that there was misgendering of our people. And case has gone cold and swept under the rugs. We're tired of being killed. We are people and we deserve justice. To my trans people in the struggle and the allies that support us, I'm urging you to hold on our city of hold, right? And hold accountable to our city officials and the police department. Do not leave this march and go back to normal. Stay vigilant, stay woke, stay active. Get your ass up and register to vote. And make sure y'all vote at every election. Don't let elections go by without y'all voting, because y'all votes matter. Together, we can make changes to protect our community. Today, right now, we, my brothers, my sisters, we will decide to live more consciously, more fully, more safely, because we know that trans lives matter. Today, right now, we can give this personal vow and tribute to those whose lives were cruelly cut short. To my trans brothers and sisters, this time we have to continue to stand, rally, and fight for our rights. I stand before you all to let you know that you are loved, beautiful, and your life is worth saving. My trans community is a reason why I continue to fight. As the Positive Youth Action Empowerment Coordinator and Supervisor, hello, because they don't think that trans people can do nothing but security work or front desk work or picking up, cleaning up or something, or cooking in the kitchen. No. Supervisor of the Pride Center. I will make sure that the space is created for you all. I will continuously work tirelessly to make sure that the services are designed to keep our trans community safe. Make sure, myself and the Pride Center and the community will be in the forefront for justice for all our people. But I'm not going to end this speech without having to say her name. Say her name. Say her name. Say her name. And one more time, say her name. Thank you.
All right, so I felt some drops, but you know, I'm Dominican, and in my culture, we believe that when someone has passed away and we're holding ceremony and we're holding space for them and it starts to rain, it's because they're pouring on us. They're pouring on us. So I don't know about anybody else. You may want to cover your cameras with bags or something, but we're here to hold space, and this rain ain't gonna stop us. Black trans, black trans, black trans, black trans, black trans, black trans. Amen. Amen. Next up is Beatrice. Beatrice. Come on, guys. Give a round of applause for Beatrice. Come on, she deserves some good. There you go.
My name is Beatrice Simpkins. I'm the Executive Director of the Newark Community Center. And so I am the person who was contacted by someone in California who contacted the center on behalf of Starlet Carbins because her daughter had died on the streets of Newark and none of us knew about it. And so from that call came many actions, including this action. And so I came to speak to you here today about what this is all about for the Newark Community Center and what it should be about for you. So I'm going to quote from Marsha P. Johnson. Her birthday was yesterday. She would have been 75 years old. How many years has it taken people to realize that we are all brothers and sisters and human beings in the human race? Marsha P. Johnson would have turned 75 yesterday on August 24th. She also died under suspicious circumstances. She was found near the Christopher Street Piers, the cause of death stated as drowning by undetermined circumstances. The authorities agreed to take a fresh look at the circumstances of her death in 2020. And to this day, the case remains officially open. She was 46 when she died in the summer of 1992 in the cold waters of the Hudson. And although Marsha was mourned by her family and friends, her death did not attract much notice in the press or the broader community. 28 years later, we are reminded yet again, in the words of Audre Lorde, that silence does not protect us. Ashley Moore's death is yet more evidence that Black trans women have been experiencing the violence of society in the shadows for far too long. I say to you that the LGBT community in Newark will not look the other way, remain silent, and accept an inhumane state of being and danger for trans women of color. If you think that, you are mistaken, as this is a new day and we will craft a better tomorrow. Since my first conversation with Starlet Carbins in June, the Newark LGBTQ Community Center has not rested in the pursuit of truth and justice for Ashley. Through this work, we hope to make Newark, New Jersey, and this country acknowledge and end the unfair treatment, assault, and violence resulting in the deaths of trans women of color. Already this year, 28 trans women have lost their lives to violence. They were young, they had futures, they were creative and caring, and only wished to live safely as their authentic selves. This community cannot, must not be silent. The community of humanity must rise up and speak up and protect our sisters and brothers who have a right to live, laugh, cry, marry, dance, sing, and do wonderful things to make this world a place of beauty, understanding, charity, and kindness. We must practice love and empathy as one human being to another, because love protects us all, values us all collectively. Violence is defined as a strength of emotion or an unpleasant or destructive force. Systemic racism is violence. Devaluing people because you don't understand them is violence. Treating people of color as societal throwaways is unacceptable and is violence. Dismissing people who are poor, homeless, struggling just to make it to tomorrow is violence. How many names will be added to the list? Trayvon Martin, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and now Jacob Blake. Thank God he hasn't been killed. Mercy McRitchie was a 22-year-old Black trans woman shot 10 times in Dallas by someone she had known since middle school. Hatred is violence. In commenting on her death, her sister Taisha delivered a message to trans women. This is a cold, dangerous, disrespectful world, she said. Please be careful. Well, this is a world that must end, and only we can do that by action and not silence. How could Ashley die on the streets of Newark, lost to friends and family, and no one know about it? Silence is violence. The way her family was treated after her death, having to find out she died via social media platform, is evidence of violence against trans Black women. Ashley was a victim of the violence of systems and institutions that practice, whether they realize it or not, the forces of hatred, indifference, bias, and discrimination against people they devalue because of their race, perceived class, or gender expression. We must work together so that there are no more Ashleys counted in the many lives lost to those who hate, those who would look the other way, those who would hold power over our lives to dismiss us, kill us, and deny people their basic humanity. Because we were not silent, changes are occurring here in Newark. The Newark Mayor and the Newark Police Division responded by the creation of Ashley Moore amendments to the policing policies that were created to improve how police interact with the LGBT community. At the recommendation of Ashley's mother, Starlet, we now have a dedicated LGBTQ hotline for LGBTQ people to report unfair treatment and improper conduct against them by the very institutions that are supposed to protect the sanctity and dignity of their lives. But the hotline is not a 24-hour hotline. It is an 8-to-4 hotline. And that is not good enough. It needs to be 24 hours. It needs trained, sensitive, empathetic, and caring people to pick up those calls and take action. The call to action is to continue to act and speak out until the violence against trans women ends, until their lives are as valued, as honored, and as respected as any other life. By continuing to fight against systemic discrimination and demand compassionate policing, we honor the legacy that Ashley Moore has left for us to carry. Policies, they're good. Painting the streets with Black Lives Matters are deserved and welcomed. But if those actions are just gestures that do not translate to change in how we view and value Black and brown people and their right to respect, safety, and a future absent of violence and death by institutional racism, then what have we really done to create a beloved community where all lives matter? And with these deaths, what is left behind is lasting pain and a wake of grieving family and friends in our midst. Let us be loud and proud and powerful and demand change from the people who run public and private institutions, and too often view the most vulnerable as just a source of revenue, uncompensated labor, and not worthy of respect and safety. Ashley should have been protected, and in her death, she and her family deserve better. So I ask each one of you to do better. Let's keep up the pressure. Let's get into some good trouble, necessary trouble, so that this is the last vigil we will need to hold because of the tragic death of a member of our community. Let's end discrimination in house, employment, and policing so that non-gender conforming people have a future free of the pain and anguish of just trying to be who they are. In closing, I ask that you support the work of the Newark LGBT Community Center and the many allied organizations gathered here today that have made this remembrance possible and are doing the work of justice. We need you to donate your money, your time, your humanity to the cause of justice and freedom to live fully and safely as LGBTQ people. Finally, from the book of knowledge that guides my life and conduct, I say the following: be on guard, stand firm in your faith, be courageous, be strong, do everything in love. Love conquers violence.
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me now? Yep. All right, perfect. How y'all doing? All right, so can I just like reshift the space so all my trans, non-binary siblings, can y'all make your way to the front? This space is for you, okay? Let me just set the space. This space is yours. This space is yours, right? And I just want to say thank you and sorry, right? Thank you for them having to constantly keep showing up, and sorry that they have to keep doing it. Sorry that we have to keep being in these visuals. This is not the first one I've been to. I've stopped counting. I've lost emotion. I don't know how to feel. So this space is for them. My name is Nala Simone Toussaint. I'm the founder of Reuniting of African Descendants. I've been doing this work since 2013. Let's just be clear that this conversation that we're having is gender-based violence, connected to race, connected to ableism, connected to ageism. There's a list of things that trans people experience that's intersecting. It's not an either-or conversation. It's not an either-or conversation. Right? Right? There should be no way that Ashley is the only name that we're saying today. Well, we know there's other trans women that have died. Why do we not know their names? Why are we not able to honor their lived experience as ancestors? Because for often we've turned the left eye or the right eye, or we've just been bystanders. How many of you checked in your trans siblings and community? For all my LBQ, before you got here, did you check in? Did you say how you doing? How are you feeling? Can I send you my thoughts? What is it that you need? I know we're not getting it quick enough, but what is it that you need? Do you feel safe? Did you eat today? Do you have a roof over your head? When we're thinking about this, the injustice of Ashley Moore, when we're thinking about safe places that's supposed to keep us safe, safe places, what is that? We don't know what that looks like. Talk about trust, what is that? You invite us to spaces and we can't even trust that our lives in this space, after this space, will be kept safe. You want to know what safety looks like? Safety is asking them, how are you getting home today? Did you eat today? And yes, many of y'all are in the same circumstances. I'm very clear. But when we talk about marginalized in that list, some of them may not even get a job, but that's a lie. Because we're creators. We're resilient. You know, they can tell you how many jobs denied them just because of discrimination. We can talk about sexual harassment. We can talk about sexual assault. So when we're talking about the death, let's talk about what we're experiencing now. What are we experiencing now? What can you, who are in this space, who show up, can do? Are y'all clear what is necessary to do? Right? It's not about just showing up in this moment. Make no mistake, this is good. And There's so much more. So much more. Some of y'all work at jobs and not one trans person is in the space. Allies who? Allies what? Some of y'all will only use research studies to know what is going on in our lives, but will never offer us a job. Will never advocate for our safety. That is not allyship. That is not siblinghood. That is not being an accomplice. That's not what that looks like. There's so much more to do. So much more. So I'm going to turn it over to my sister, Goddess, Queen, Andy G. Yeah, come on up. We're going to get this right. We're going to get this right. Come on.
Hey, y'all, how y'all doing? Thank you, beloved. Hi, I'm Queen Jean, QWEEA. Yeah. I am so glad that we are here today, but I'm not glad that we are here because we have lost our sister. Ashley Moore was taken away from us months ago. And a couple weeks ago was the first time that I found out about it. That is disheartening. That is unacceptable. We are losing our own family and we don't even know. That is sad. When we say we have got to do better, we must do better. My sister Raquel Willis has something that she likes to open up with. So I would love if you would repeat after me. I believe in my power. I believe in my power. I believe in your power. I believe in your power. I believe in our power. I believe in our power. I believe in Black trans power. I believe in Black trans power. I believe in my power. I believe in your power. I believe in our power. And I believe in Black trans power. I believe in Black trans liberation. I believe in Black trans liberation. And that liberation is not a magical destination. It is right here, right now, because it is our state of mind. Message. We are here because we have lost another sister, Ashley. It is very painful as we are marching and galvanizing in these streets, but there is no safety net for our family. Last night, we gathered and held space in Washington Square Park to honor Marsha P. Johnson's 75th birthday. That felt triumphant. But the reality was I knew that there might even be a trans sister or trans brother or sibling being attacked in that same moment. So while we were here galvanizing and celebrating, there could be a trans woman in pain. That is the real truth. That is what we have to contend with on a daily basis. That trans women don't have your safety. Black trans women don't have your protection. You will continually use them and indulge in their body, indulge in what they have to offer. But what are they getting out of it? Black trans women are at the worst intersectionalities of life. Black and trans is the last thing that you want to be. There's no protection. There's no love. There is no justice. And that ain't right. It is our duty to win. It is our duty to win. So I believe that we are going to win. But in order for us to win, we need our family with us. We need our entire family. We need our allies, our co-conspirators. We don't need you to show up and post online. Fuck your post. Show the fuck up. Show up. When you are home and you're like, oh, I'm hungry, I'm going to get a little Uber. Uber a trans woman some money. Uber Eats her some money. Thank you. When you are going to get groceries, get some groceries for a trans woman. We will not be left out anymore. We will not be ignored any longer. We have been kept in the back of your mind, and we are moving forward to the front of your mind. Black trans women need to be centered because it's our duty to win. Black trans women need access to love. It is very touching and healing to hear her mother speak. But I personally know that I don't know if my mother would speak. I come from a family of 5 brothers, and I often say, I don't know if they're the kind of men who would stand up and fight for a trans sister if they were being attacked in the street. Would they be one of the men in California and LA attacking 3 trans women of color? So that is the problem, because we don't see trans women as women. And I'm here to remind y'all, trans women are women. Period. And we are tired of having to explain ourselves because we are divine feminine, and we shall not continue to explain. So wake the fuck up. Wake up! Wake up! Because our community is hurt. There is a lot of hurt and pain. I'm gonna let them go ahead. Okay, fellas. Go ahead, baby. They must have gas money. They must have gas money. But what I will say is that we need all of this. This energy right here, I want y'all to take a look around. Look at the faces who showed up today. I want to see our faces each and every day. We need to keep this consistent energy. I want you to turn to the person to your left and say, I love you. Turn to the person to your right and say, I will protect you. It is our duty to win. It is our duty to win. It is our duty to win. We must make it so that Ashley Moore can win. Thank you so much for being here today. I love you all.
All right, now we're going to hear from Nayela Love, who will share her experience and her love and memory of Ashley. Hi, everyone. I don't want nobody saying nobody getting ready to corona. Who keep us safe? We keep us safe. Who keep us safe? We keep us safe. We keep us safe. I'm really not a speaker. I don't do this. I'm really emotional today. Beyond about that. Hey, because you're really emotional. It's okay. It's okay. All right. Read. How many times we have to be here for a Black woman dying, being murdered, or being found on the side of the street? I knew Ashley. We both lived in a homeless shelter together called Rain Foundation. That woman was a hard-working woman. All she did was work, cook, and did what she had to do. Lovable, kind, free-spirited, and protected whoever protected her. All I could remember is, she used to help everybody with their resumes in the house and taking time out, and never once was nothing. She looked for something back when she gave out. And what a lot of people need to understand, that as women, as trans women, when we have somebody in our corner, when somebody's with us, it's very, we keep them very close. And it's very hard for us to find love. It's very hard for us to find people that respect us, care about us, the same way that we do about them. Because we're all very lovable women. I believe that's our nature. That's my nature. But the fact that when I found out that she died, somebody told me that she died from corona. And when I seen something else that she put out, it bothered my mind, because it's like, if we did not find out that she was murdered or whatever happened to her, we would have think that she got killed. I mean, we would have think that she just died from corona. Instead of somebody just picking it up and picking this case back up. That is very heartbreaking. I think every day of my life, am I going to go outside and come back alive? Every day. I dream about it. Those are my pains. Those are my fears. You know, I may look like I'm pretty or I'm happy or this, that, and third, but what we think by ourselves is totally different. What we show to you is totally different. You have to really access it for you're okay. Deep down inside, not look at us and see beauty or see whatever that we're portraying or keeping up. Those are two different things. The inside and the outside. I get pretty, and I get pretty to make myself feel pretty, to make myself look pretty, for me to be respected in the streets. If I could just walk outside, I will. But no, I have to walk outside to give society what they want to see as a woman, as a trans woman. These are things that we keep up for ourselves, and so we won't be misgendered in the streets, so we won't be attacked, so we won't be beat up. This is what I keep up. You know, it's very hard through me being 21, seeing women younger than me, older than me dying every month, every day, every minute. It's heartbreaking. It's depressing. It's very sad, and all we do is keep people that surround us. And I want y'all to understand, people that are part of the LGBT community, gay men, gay black men, lesbians, that anytime you have to check up on any woman that you know, that you see, even if you see a homeless woman in the street, pull over and talk to her. Ask her how she's feeling. Ask her if she's hungry. Do something. Pray with us. Love us. Don't do things for us to get a name from us, as everybody do. Do not do anything for a woman of trans experience to get a name for your business, for what you're trying to build, or for yourself. That's all I see every day. So many people tried it for me, and I would not be a victim of that. I would not. If you're not standing up with me correctly on my down times, my good times, my middle, I don't want nothing from you. Nothing. If you're not crying with me, I don't want nothing from you. If you are not asking me every minute if I'm okay, or at night time if you're in a house, sending a text of nothing, I don't want nothing from you. We put our heart and we pour our heart into this community. They don't give it to us back. Yes, y'all coming out here, yes. That's very beautiful and delightful. But what are you really, really doing in the back? What are you doing in the back? I fight every day of my life to be alive. Every day. I'm 21. Why do you have to be afraid to live? Why do you have to be afraid to go outside? What is that? That's not living. That's not a life. At all. Y'all really need to look at that and understand that. When a woman of trans experience saying that they're going through something and putting it out there and showing y'all, and nobody pick it up, or ask what it is, or ask what it really is, let me know, trust me. We're alone every day of our life. We may have a group of handful around us, surround us, but we're alone. I'm alone inside. I think if I ever going to find a genuine love from something or from someone, you know? And if it wasn't like women like us, if it wasn't like women like Tyra in New Jersey, Maya, her, none of us, her, to see each other, Nyla, yes, to see each other, it just would be us. There's women that we look up to, and sometimes they disappoint. They disappoint because they only fight for a moment because we be scared. We be scared to keep talking. We be scared to keep coming out because we don't see a change. We don't see nothing changing. It's the same every day, every year. We're back at the same place. Every day and every year. All I would want to see is justice for this woman. That's all I want to see. I want to see justice. I want to know that it will be truly, truly justice. And if we started this today, we need to continue it. There's no stopping. There's no in the middle. There's no, not this big crowd. I want to see bigger. Once we do this again, it needs to be bigger people, bigger crowds, a news channel, something for somebody to pick it up. Because I'm tired of this. I'm tired of it. I don't want to rest in peace no more. No more. Not no woman like me, no colored woman, no nothing. I don't want to rest in peace no more. I texted my mom the other day because of all of my emotions, my biological mother. And I told her, I said, I'm very scared if I never hear your voice again. And me and my mom relationship is very bittersweet. And I don't expose to her how I truly, deeply feel in myself because she's a tough woman. She don't want to hear all that crying stuff, as she says. And I texted her, I said, I'm very scared if I never hear your voice say that you love me again. I said, this is something I think about every time I walk outside. If I never hear from you, if I never talk to you, if I never see you. And she texted me back a long paragraph talking about if there was another woman that got murdered and the family didn't want to send her off correctly. And I explained to her that if that ever happened to me, what would she do? And she told me that the world would know who she is. The world would know who I am. Because she would fight. She would make a war out of it. And that's what all mothers need to do. You may not respect it, you may not love it, you may not understand it. But I know if I die, if I get murdered, if I get killed, my mom's coming out. All of my parents. They're coming out. And it's going to be going on until I get my justice. And that's what I want this mother to do. That's what I want every mother to do. Until you see something change, fight. Even if it kills you, fight. Because it kills us. We fight every day of our life. And it kills us. So understand how we feel when we have to keep going. When we have to keep doing this and coming back and speaking our emotions and showing our emotions and being vulnerable and nobody see it. Nobody hears it. I don't want to hear Black Lives Matter. I don't want to hear Trans Lives Matter. None of that. I want y'all to fight. Have a fight. Literally fight. And be lovable and respect each other. Thank you.
Tabitha.
Hey everyone, I'm Tabitha Gonzalez. I am born and raised here in Newark, New Jersey. I now reside in the Bronx. But there was no way that I was not going to show up here today to speak. Louder, please. There was no way that I was not going to show up here today and speak. I grew up right down there on Grafton Avenue projects. I know the murder rate and the black-on-black crime here in Newark, New Jersey is very high. And I know that when there's a black man that dies, there's an outcry. But when there's a black woman, especially a woman of trans experience, this is all we get, our own. Who got us? I say it again, who got us? I need you to say that like you mean it, because I don't feel like you got me right now. Who got us? All right, then we need to let them know that. When I came out the womb, I was a threat because of the color of my skin. So imagine me being black and trans. Every day is a struggle for us. Me speaking on this mic and people want to be thirsty for the mic, me picking up this mic could cost me my very life by being visible here today and speaking for my people, because I am a proud woman of trans experience. I'm joined by my brother and my husband, and I understand that that may not be the narrative for a lot of us here. Some of us don't have that family support. So this is the support that we look at. But how are you truly showing up? There is no way that a trans person or any person should die. I don't care whether they are displaced from their homes because they're youth, and there's a lot of youth homelessness for LGBTQ youth. And I know that's in New York, so I know it's here in Jersey. Just because they're homeless doesn't mean they're hopeless. Their lives matter. There should be no way that someone can be found in the street and there's no answers for the family. Imagine if her mother would have never looked for her. How about we open up a real investigation and see how many other people are down there that they haven't even identified correctly? Non-binary. How about that? Trans-masculine, trans. How many other people are down there and they haven't even released a report or said anything in the newspapers? This is crazy and this is wrong. What are we gonna do? Just continue to show up? The young lady said she needs to show. No, we don't need this no more. I don't want to be in this area. We need to be celebrating each other the next time we get together. We don't need to be memorializing any death of any of us. Yeah, it can start by us loving each other, but it takes more. It takes equity. It takes housing. It takes education. What is New Jersey doing for our community? And why aren't you holding them accountable? There is no reason for this. We have this, what, every other day in New York? Every other day a trans woman is dying. I came out here because there's no way, not in my birthplace. Okay. I used to run through here like a bat out of hell. And I know what's in this area. So I also know the treatment I received as a young queer person at One Police Plaza. I also know how they treated me at Essex County Correctionals. So I know how they treat us. But if we gotta fight every day just to stand, how many of you gonna really stand beside us? When y'all see somebody misgender us, stand up for us. How many cis people out here in this crowd? Can I see? Just tell me. Cis people conform to the assigned birth. Yeah, right? How many trans people? Raise your hand. See what I'm saying? Oh, you're so beautiful, young lady. If something happens to her, I need y'all to surround her. I need y'all to use your bodies to protect our lives, like we fight for your rights. Because see what happens when y'all got y'all kind of left us fighting for ourselves. Can we really talk? Y'all kind of left us fighting for ourselves and we still fighting. 20 years later, we still fighting. We still dying. But we would tear these fucking streets up if it's a black man. And to my black brother, I love you. But I'm also afraid of you. Because you're the one who attack and kill us. We need to address these inborn things that we have to hate towards each other. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about this young lady not dying in vain. Thank God for her family. I have a loving family that would have done the same, but that is not everybody's story. So whether you're a chosen parent or a bio parent, stand by your child. Not one more. Not one more. We shouldn't have to come together like this. I understand it's COVID and we gotta be, but yeah, we should be having pride around this time, being proud of who we are. I am so tired of people attacking us, and you, and I'm not saying you personally, I'm saying to whoever stands by and make a little post, a repost, a photo op, I was here, I did it. We don't need that. Take that back and shove that up your ass. What I need for you to do is stand in the gap for me when the hounds of hell come against me to take my fucking life. I'm not from here, but I know these young ladies around me is from here. And I know y'all probably see them every day and probably kiki and la la. Our lives matter, my love. Don't come together just for this. Come together when you see them struggling in the street, leaning sideways because they've been sex working all night. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Employment. How many of you talk about, you take pictures for your organization? Employ Black trans women today. They don't have to be out here. I say that again? Oh, just so y'all know, this is my sidekick right here. You're not stipends, right? You do a little $50. What they gonna do with that? That ain't even a good pair of nails. Y'all ladies know.
Hire us. We tired of stipends. You know? Hire us.
So at the end of the day, I come here because I love Newark. This is where I grew up. I was a part of the Dolphins at the YMCA down there in North Newark. Like, this is my home and it feels good to be here, but it doesn't, I'm not rejoicing because of the purpose why I'm here. So I'm gonna go celebrate with my family because I have a family that affirms and loves me, and I haven't seen them in a while. So I'm gonna use this opportunity to spend time with them, but I'm gonna also lend my voice to this movement because it's needed. I know the lady said that y'all should hug each other. I need y'all to turn from each other because y'all always hug each other. Come hug a trans woman today. Come love a trans woman today. Ask them for consent. What, you scared? I love that.
I like people.
But listen, love on a trans woman. Support a trans woman today. Our lives are important. Thank you for letting me share. With his trans sister. This is the type of love and support that we need. I'm crying right now because I haven't seen my brother in so long. But this is what we need. Don't show up just for us in death. Show up for us in life.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Greetings, beloved. I'm Reverend Dr. Vanessa M. Brown. I'm the senior pastor of Rivers of Living Water United Church of Christ, and I'm the bishop-elect of the Fellowship of Affirming Ministries Northeast Region. I offer my sincere condolences to the family and friends of Ashley Moore and to my trans siblings. My heart breaks once again that we are here to say, stop killing Black trans women. Violence against Black trans women is a problem in this country, and it's a problem in Newark. This is a call to action as we continue to pursue justice for Ashley and others who have been ignored by the systems that are supposed to protect them. I'm calling for a commitment to hold the police and other public officials and systems accountable and responsible for unfair treatment and denial of equal rights and the providing of healthcare, housing, police response, safety, and other necessary services. To the faith leaders, religion is being used by some to justify discrimination and spread false narratives about transgender people. As people of faith and conscience, we oppose the use of religion to harm transgender people. And we recognize our responsibility to articulate a different moral vision. We believe that religious freedom means the freedom to practice our faith, not deny other people their rights or impose our beliefs on others. We know that gender is a complex and sacred gift, and that the breathtaking diversity of creation is to be honored, not questioned or denied. We know that gender diversity has played a role in myriad faith traditions and religious texts dating back centuries, and that transgender people serve as faith leaders in many traditions and bring forward powerful spiritual gifts. Faith leaders, I need you to remember that transformation requires radical inclusion and the fight for justice. At present, the United States is a society far from embodying transgender justice. Transgender women of color are being murdered in epidemic numbers. Transgender youth face harassment and denial of rights. Transgender immigrants, refugees, and asylum seekers are being detained and deported. In most states, transgender people lack full legal protection, and many states are looking to pass new legislation that explicitly curtails transgender people's basic rights. In the face of these injustices, transgender justice is a moral imperative. People of faith must take action. The starting point for any discussion of the treatment of transgender people must be the inherent dignity and the worth that transgender people share with all members of the human family. This belief in the inherent dignity and worth of all people is fundamental, deeply rooted belief common to many faiths. Acknowledging the dignity and worth of transgender people requires going beyond a profession of belief. It calls for advocacy for just treatment in society. People of faith must strive towards a more just society. Let me say it again. People of faith must strive towards a more just society, one that allows transgender people to live and to flourish in all aspects of life. This is the work of transgender justice. Seeking transgender justice begins with treating transgender people in a manner consistent with their gender identity and endorsing policies that do the same. It continues with an ongoing commitment to dismantle systems of oppression that keep people from showing up as their full and wonderfully made selves in schools, faith communities, and workplaces. It also requires opposing laws that seek to stigmatize and marginalize transgender people by legitimizing discrimination in the public sphere and perpetuating false narratives about transgender people. Recognizing that transgender women of color bear a huge portion of the violence and discrimination directed towards trans communities, seeking transgender justice requires us simultaneously to seek justice along the lines of race, class, sex, and sexuality. A society that embodies transgender justice is one where transgender people have the ability to participate and have their gender identities and expressions acknowledged and affirmed. It is a society where transgender people have access, somebody say access, to safe and sustainable employment, housing, education, healthcare, and public accommodations. It is a society where transgender people are free from violence, harassment, and intimidation. If I can offer anything tonight, I will offer a prayer. It's an inclusive prayer for safety and protection. Whatever the God of your understanding is, I pray that you pray with me. Spirit of life and love that resides within and among us, we enter this moment with all that we are, with an open heart and with the love for justice. We hold in love and prayer all transgender people, so many of whom live under the weight of violence, fear, and intolerance. We hold in love and prayer all the ways that transgender people have survived and thrived in a hostile world. We hold in love and prayer all who recognize the significance of gender justice for all people. We who believe in freedom will not rest until it comes. We pray for the dawn of a new day, when the very humanity of trans people is no longer called into question or ignored. We pray that physical and emotional and spiritual violence will come to an end. We pray that a spirit of compassion and care will fill us to overflowing, that we may have the capacity to listen, to learn and grow, not only in our awareness, but also in our willingness to act. We pray for teachers and spiritual leaders and social workers and lawyers and all people who heed the call to support trans liberation, trans leadership, and trans visibility. May they ultimately lead into the light of truth and justice, offering hope to transgender and non-conforming youth and young adults. We pray for Ashley Moore. May her spirit continue to guide us until justice is served. We pray for her family and friends as they continue to shoulder a legal process that is too often unkind. May they persevere with courage and strength. On this day, we commit and recommit to creating a world where people of all genders know peace, love, and justice. We commit and recommit to living lives of compassion and care for all humanity. We commit and recommit to the healing work of relationship building that will help every person know, no matter their gender or sexuality, that they are loved and valued. We pray this prayer in the name of all that is righteous, in the name of all that is just, in the name of all that is holy, in the many names of the divine. We say amen. Ashe. And so it is. God bless you tonight. Hello? Oh, hi everybody. I'm back again. It was such a powerful, my speech and stuff and all that. So I forgot to mention really quickly, right after this is over, it's not over. So if you guys want to just, anybody wanted to come on down to the Pride Center and grab a plate, grab a cold beverage, you're more than welcome to do so. More so, 17 Academy Street, which is right down the street, and we can march all the way there if y'all want to. Thank you, Gilead, for helping us out with that. And also, it's really more so for our trans sisters to come down there to see the space so you guys can know where we're going to be. So you ladies and gentlemen can know where we're going to be at and all of that down there. So 17 Academy Street, downtown Newark, New Jersey. Thank you.
Hi, how y'all doing? My name is Lizette. I'm an architectural designer and city developer. Thank you for everybody here for coming. I'm just gonna make it real quick because I don't have a speech or whatever. All of us, Black, brown, Latino, white, we are LGBTQ. We are proud. Repeat after me. We are proud.
We are proud.
And for that same reason, and I'm only gonna say it once, for that same reason, we gotta be better. We gotta be stronger. We gotta be the best. You got that job? You got that school you're going to? You gotta work harder. You know why? Because we are LGBTQ. That other person's gonna get that job. That other person's gonna get that position. That other dude is gonna get the promotion. We gotta be better. We gotta be stronger. Because we are LGBTQ and we are proud. You got that? All right.
Thank you for the water.
B, you ready to close out now? Yeah? Thank you all for being with us. Thank you all for being with us. Woo! All right, now we're gonna have Medina and B close out.
You gotta just lift it up a little bit, you know, your phone, the speaker, my phone, the whole nine. So how's everybody tonight? So my message is simple. I love you all more. For those who don't know me, my name is Medina. I am very proud to work alongside Beatrice, Denise, Nala, and everyone in seeking justice for Ashley Moore. So I want to be clear in the intentions after this. So to everyone assembled here, I've been really moved to hear everyone's stories, to see the beautiful memories of Ashley, to hear the bravery and the strength of her mother, Starlet Carbins, but I've also heard all of your pain. And in doing so, I know that today is bleak, but today, now, where we all are, you are all proving to me that we can build a better tomorrow, that we can craft and mold what will be by being united. And so every day our Black trans women are disappearing. The least you can do is protect them and ask how they are. The stories, the bravery that they choose to exist, how they want to exist, is something that should be a lesson to you all, to even have a tenth of their bravery. So we can build a different world by shedding light on the causes that we hold dear. I'm asking you to continue to work alongside me and Beatrice and all of the leaders you've heard from. I'm asking you to join the work in fighting for those who exist in the margins. We are working to make sure that there is change in the way that law enforcement gathers and engages our community, and we'll be announcing a town hall shortly. We want you to donate to the Ashley GoFundMe. You have cards. If you need them, everyone up front can give them to you. If not, you can visit justiceforashleymore.org. You can also empower the Newark LGBTQ Community Center and follow them on social media. Beatrice has been doing this work, and Denise has been doing this work in and out. If not, Ashley's voice would have disappeared. It shouldn't take contacts I have on the West Coast, thank you, Jasmine, for telling me what was going on in my own backyard. But that means we are not as mobilized as we think we are. That means they thought they could get one over. That means they thought our sister could disappear in the night. And that is not the truth. So as they have all cried for you, it's not about just now. I'm proud to see your faces. I'm proud to see the messages on social media. It is about tomorrow, the day after that, the day we go to the State House, the day we change legislation, and ultimately the day that you can walk up to law enforcement and actually feel protected. So empower them, join them. Everyone knows if you DM me, if you find me on social media, CITI Medina, I will respond. And those who have answered, Brian, Derek, Julio, all of you, I thank you so much, because it only took one phone call for us to have a Zoom and talk how we were going to change the way we do things.